Hello, and welcome to my first episode of my YouTube channel. I'm going to make this short and sweet. I'm going to just give you a quick little introduction about who I am, what I'm about, what I'm up to. I am a current events junkie that really loves the news. I love finding things on the internet, and it's just the way I've always been. And there's a lot of things going on in the world. There's been a lot of censorship in the past. And I believe that I have a good solution for those that are like me. They enjoy the news, they like knowing what's going on in the world, being ahead of what's coming. So here I am, and I want to give you a taste of what I see in the world. So here you have the United States, right? And as you see up here in the upper right hand corner, I'm zoomed in up to level 5 here, right? And what this is marine radar. And the green are cargo ships, the red are oils, uh, oil, uh, uh, oil shipping containers, right? And or oil barges, I should say. And if you didn't know anything, you'd say that looks like a busy country, right? Well, let's go take a look at China, right? Now, America used to be the manufacturing capital of the world, but look at China at the same zoomed in level, right? Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's look at how stacked these boats are on top of each other, coming and going out of China, right? Now, I'm not saying this from jealousy by any stretch of imagination, but I think there's something sinister going on with this, right? Just to give you an idea, that was zoomed in up to level 7, right? Let me zoom in to level 7 at two of our busiest ports, right? Look at that. You can see literally the boats themselves. Let's zoom in even a little bit further here. Here you can see a handful of boats, but this is zoomed in at level 8 and level 9, right? Well, if this was China, this would be just jam-packed. Let's go over to China and look at China zoomed in at level 8. There you go, level 8. Look at all those ships reaching deep into its country. Look at all of these ships. Now, America is a population. Let me zoom back out to 5 because that's where we started at. Now, America is a population of 330 million. The Eurozone, about 450 million, right? Look at all of these ships coming and going for the extra 100 million more. What is going on with the U.S.? Just come back to the U.S. It's not much. In fact, all these boats coming and going through here, bypassing us, going through the Panama Canal, and popping out the other side. Um, it's not sour grapes that we don't produce anything or not as much. In fact, the U.S. has turned more of a user society more so than a building society, manufacturing society. But this is 2022, summer of 2022. If you would have came over here and looked at China about 2 weeks ago, maybe a month ago already, uh, let me zoom back in here. Dots are technically parked. Arrows mean they're moving. It was just jam packed with circle dots. Why? Because China, for the last 4 months, was on COVID lockdown. And they've been on lockdown for uh, at the end of a 2 year mark, right? So this started all in January February of 2020. So you go all the way to 2021 and now 2022. And then here, after 2 years, after it's pretty much circled the world, the virus, right, has circled the world, I don't know how many times, but pretty much everyone that has had it, or everyone on this world has pretty much had it, if not twice. But here for the last 4 months, they were on lockdown because they have a zero COVID policy. Think about that. Why would they be on lockdown when it's already circled the world? Everyone that could die from this pretty much has died from this. It doesn't mean that there aren't any more people dying. I just know that when you look at the charts, you can actually see that it's died down quite a bit. But here's the thing. With China, all of these boats are coming and going between North and South China. They're feeding themselves. And the word on the street is that they want Taiwan. I'm just going to float a conspiracy theory. What if the number one manufacturer wanted to starve its competitor giant, right? The dominant country that controls the global monetary policy, right? The petrodollar, right? Well, what if the U.S. was eventually on its way down the drain and now China's stepping up to the plate? How could they, if they really wanted Taiwan now, what could they do to harm us to prevent us from protecting Taiwan, except starve our economy? And here at the same time, Russia invaded Ukraine. So there's a war going on here, and Russia's supposed to be sanctioned, but here you have boats coming and going out of Russia. Media is nowhere to be found on this topic. It's very hard to find anyone talking about it. And the whole world is just, they're continuing on without us, right? Well, long story short, and this is conspiracy theory, but what if China and Russia said, hey, we'll go first, you guys go second? So Russia went in Ukraine. The U.S. has pretty much given up all of our kinetic weapons, our anti-tank this, anti-that. Anything that's related to an anti-this or anti-that, we've given pretty much Ukraine. Our supplies have dwindled down. And so now you have China for the last 4 months starving our economy. I think there's going to be a wake-up call that when we try to build weapons of war, whenever China decides to go into Taiwan, I don't think there's going to be much of anything that we can do. I think we're going to be in a rock and a hard place. And who knows what else China and Russia's up to. I think that there's going to be a big wake-up call coming soon. So what is my solution to all of this silliness that's going on in the world? Well, I created a website. Well, I actually paid for a group of guys to do a really good job on a website, and trust me, they've done a really good job. There are some competitor websites that are news aggregate services that are my competitors, and they've just missed the mark. They have dirty websites that are cluttered with advertisement, and one of them lost its way, and I'll show them to you real quick. This is the Drudge Report. I used to love the Drudge Report, but word is that he sold out. Now a lefty runs it, and they attack people that lean conservative. They mildly push conservative ideology, but like here you have members of Congress faking getting arrested, and that's pushed down here at the bottom, right? Let me just, here, it's way down here. I would have had that up here. Call them out for that silliness, right? And then the only other one that's actually conservative, they hardly change their links. And look at, you have to deal with pop-ups that you have to erase just to read it normally. and it's riddled with advertisements in the center. And I get that you got to have advertisement to support your thing, but there's got to be a way to make it a little cleaner, which is what I think I've solved. Um, but for the most part, um, here, look at this. Let me zoom in on this. Pete butt plugs, right? Green wet dream fantasy. It's just, I think there's better ways to word some of these things. Um, Granted, I disagree with this goofball, but you know, I won't be using those types of words. Uh, I think when you do those words, even though we're all conservative in nature, it pushes people away. Um, so, welcome to my YouTube channel. I put a lot of thought in this website, right? I put a lot of thought in it, especially the name. So, welcome, and I've been waiting to say this. Welcome to tickingbomb.com. I know. I know you're jealous. But anyways, uh, I'll put it bluntly. My website is going to be is going to function as a tool, a list of resources for you to find conservative news websites, especially those that have been banned. You're going to be able to find websites that have been targeted by, let's say, Facebook and Twitter. Uh, Believe it or not, when you share links from certain websites, Facebook and Twitter, shadow ban those links. They don't have far reaching tentacles, even though people would love to see it. It just doesn't make it, right? They're forever at war with conservative ideology. So, my answer to this was to come up with my own conservative based website that you can be rest assured that you'll find quality conservative links. Sure, there'll be some of the left stuff on there because I think we need to know what some of the left talking points are. And you'll always be able to click on it, and it'll be the name tickingbomb.com is easy to remember and type in. So my hope is that you just can just click away and you're at my website. That way, if anyone bans it, which it probably will, you'll be able to always just go to tickingbomb.com. You'll be able to find me on Twitter until I get banned from there. And one thing I think most people will like is that you'll be able to go to, let's say, Reddit, and I have a subreddit that I created, Ticking Bomb Com, which is pretty much my username on all social media platforms, Ticking Bomb Com, right, without the dot in it. But on Reddit, I'm going to use that as a decentralized platform for people to share links with me, and that as a decentralized group of people who might be like-minded can post stuff on there of news articles that they found interesting, whether it's from a conservative website or not. You can forward it right to me, and then I can get it on my website, and that's how it works. So trust me, you're going to like my website. It'll be a very clean website, and I will be making YouTube videos to support my website. So with that said, until we meet again, don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, that's tickingbomb.com.